Hello, Bethel. I hope that everybody's staying safe. Today we have a great recipe. It's going to be a delicious, crispy on the outside, creamy on the inside potato kugel. First, you're going to need 6 large potatoes and 2 large onions washed and peeled. Pro tip, make sure that you keep the potatoes covered in cold water to prevent browning while we prepare everything else. We're going to need 3 eggs. We'll need a tablespoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of black pepper, more or less to your taste, a half cup of olive oil, and a little bit of a splash for the bottom of our pan. Then, optional, you can add garlic powder and paprika like I do. Preheat your oven to 425 degrees. Take your half cup of olive oil and place it into a pan. We're going to put that over low heat and let that simmer and just get nice and warm on the stove. We're also going to put some olive oil in the bottom of a glass pan to get that ready to go. We want to get all of our ingredients together before we start using the potatoes because they're going to start turning brown right away. So here I'm going to mix up the eggs. I'm going to add salt and lots of pepper. I love my Kugel, super peppery. And then if you want, I add garlic powder and a little bit of paprika to mine as well, and give that a really good mix. Okay, I've taken my potatoes out of the cold water so they're still nice and white. And as you can see, I'm going to use a box shredder. I'm using the larger setting for this. Of course, if you have a food processor, feel free to use that. Save yourself a little bit of arm work if you can. Now for my onions, I do the very small setting. You don't have to, but I have a couple of people in my house that don't like onions, so it's my way of sneaking them in without hearing any objections. If you work quickly, you can avoid a lot of browning from the potatoes. And as soon as you have the potatoes and onions shredded, you're going to add your egg and spice mixture and give that a really good stir. Now, some people will drain this. I choose not to because I think it's going to help to add a creamy consistency. See all that good potato starch in the bottom? You're really going to want that later in the recipe. I'm going to move over to the stove now where I have that oil nice and warm, and I'm going to carefully pour that into my mixture and stir that. Again, be very careful. That oil is hot. You should hear some sizzling. Once you have that all mixed together, you're going to go ahead and put that into your glass pan and just get it smoothed out the best you can. That's it. It's ready to go into our 425-degree oven. Here's a sneak peek of what it looks like about 25 to 30 minutes in. You can see it's already starting to get a nice brown crunchy top, and that oil is really working on making sure that our sides and bottom get crispy too. Here's mine after about an hour. You may need to adjust 5 or 10 minutes depending on your oven, but as you can see, mine has a beautiful brown crunchy layer on the top, the bottom, and the sides. And when we cut into the middle, we'll see that potato starch did its job. It's got a beautiful, creamy inside. There it is, potato kugel. I hope that you enjoy. Stay safe, Bethel. Shalom.